Hello everyone, Mimikins here. Today I'm going to share with you some of my support sword and shield builds. These builds are intended for group play for harder content, such as tempered and arch-tempered monsters. Support builds for harder content are incredibly useful. Not everyone in SOS groups use buffs or are good at avoiding attacks. Having the ability to buff others and heal them in times of need can really add to the survivability of the group and increase overall DPS. Attack buffs can give more attack than having 7 attack duels, as well as survivability from defensive buffs, dash juice for extra stamina and immunizers for faster recovery. Sword and shield is so easy to use consumables as you don't need to put your weapon away. With skills like speed eating, you can eat really fast and get back on with your own DPS. Having the ability to heal everyone up in your group fast is very helpful and allows everyone else to go full force on DPS. For fights like the behemoth where party members can be pinned down and unable to heal themselves, a support player can save them from carting. I'm going to look at 2 different support sword and shield build types. The first build deals good damage while supporting your whole team, is very flexible and has room to slot in additional skills you may like to use. Second, I will show you a paralysis status build, which disables a monster, allowing for your team to release a barrage of attacks into it. My first build uses the Empress Edge Sticks, which comes with the skill Razor Sharp, which halves sharpness loss, making this a low maintenance weapon as you don't need to watch your sharpness bar as closely. This build deals good damage as well as having the ability to support your team. I have made 2 builds. The first is an AT version and the second contains no event gear. You've probably noticed that there are a few slots missing. This is to enable you to modify the build to your taste and even adjust the build depending on what you are fighting. Extra elemental resist or even more damage boosting skills. These extra slots will have you covered. Swapping out a few pieces of gear can even give you level 5 earplugs, which help if you have trouble dodging roars or even if you want to quickly top off another player. You're probably familiar with most of the skills. Flinch free helps to stop your character from stumbling from other player attacks as well as small damage. Mushroommancer level 1 allows you to use blue mushrooms, which is essentially another stack of potion, but instantly heal. Toadstools have the same effect as immunizers and don't stack. I mostly have it for the extra potion effect. Some people like having level 3 to save on other consumables. Mandragora mushrooms don't work with wide range, which limits its use in support builds, so I think it's better to have level 1 and put those extra slots to gain additional skills. Recovery up skill also doesn't work with wide range, it only affects heals received by your character, that's why I haven't included it. Let's look at my paralysis build. I'm using the Grand Barong 2, which has the highest paralysis status for sword and shield. I've decided to use the Empress set bonus not only because it has good skills for a support build, but completing the set bonus gives Mind's Eye, which helps stop your weapon from bouncing, which is ideal for this weapon since it can only reach blue sharpness. I've made an AT event geared build as well as one without the AT gear. I use lots of smaller attacks on this build in order to apply the status faster. Sword and shield is one of the best weapons for applying status in the game since it attacks very fast. This weapon does require the free element skill to unlock the paralysis, so if you're missing this duel you may wish to swap in the charm and lose a few levels in other skills. You could always add the extra slots via weapon augment to get them back since it has 3 slots. Not all monsters can be paralysed, so make sure you check your hunter's notes beforehand, as it may be more beneficial to use the Empress Edge set instead for more damage. I love playing support builds as it can really help the group out. There is something satisfying about bringing someone back from the brink of death and saving a faint. Giving everyone buffs helps tremendously as not everyone uses them and it honestly makes such a difference to fights. There are always going to be some people you can't save. Low-geared people who don't socket health boost are most likely going to be one-shot in harder fights. It's hard playing the game if every move is a one-shot and it leaves zero room for error. Health boost isn't a huge dual investment, so it's worthwhile giving yourself some breathing space. People won't notice if you do a few points less damage per hit, but everyone will notice if you keep fainting. I'll include a list of consumables I take with me on my runs just in case people want to know. Thanks for watching, please support the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.